Oh, Good Friday. Happy day to all of you. Here outside celebrating summertime. And it's nice to see you. Thank you for your energy, your time, your presence. Has been a couple weeks or 2 weeks since I made a last video. I just been in a lot of quiet mode. Just so much learning, so much integration from so much happening internally with me and between my heart, my mind, and the cosmos. And it was just hard. I didn't have a specific message to share with you, but today I do. And maybe I have this message for, well, two reasons. One, this month in our book club, we're going to be talking about money, self-value, expansion, growth, abundance. So if you want to really dig more into like the spirituality around money, join us. It's still time to join the book club. But I'm not here to for a sales pitch for the book club. I'm here to share an interesting thing about fear. Number one, you probably notice fear all around you. Maybe you are experiencing fear. Definitely this last year has amplified a lot of people's fear. And I had some, really intense moments of fear. And my fear is usually around money. Imagine that. I have been healing my relationship, changing my beliefs around money for years now. And sometimes we just get caught in those residues when the universe is playing its role and throwing these balls at us, and almost like a test. I don't really believe the universe is testing us, but I had some intense moments of fear around money. But this is the interesting thing about fear. Like any emotion can be addicting, it becomes conditioning, becomes a pattern. In fact, when I work with my clients and they say I have anxiety, or I have bouts of anger, whatever that is, or boredom, I can usually, with certain types of questions, find out when it's time to be anxious, when it's time to be angry. So there's a time for all of us that we know, oh, it's time to be in fear. And that's part of neurolinguistic programming, which is amazing how, we can track the mind patterns of any emotion, any state of being. So yeah, it's my dog going crazy here. So interesting enough around money, I'm gonna just share my own story as an example because it might resonate with you. It's interesting that my fear when I had maybe $1,000 on the bank account, or my fear when I had about $10,000 in the bank account, was the same. Of course, it's much better to have 10,000 than 1,000. And it didn't matter. I had a pattern that when I opened my bank statements and saw all the checks going out and no more money coming in, I would go into that fear, even when the money was there. So it'd be like this, oh my God, I need more money. The more money will come, and the fear will still be there, right? So that's when we need to scratch our heads and start evaluating what is the root of the fear. And it has to do with childhood environment, the environment you grew up, the beliefs you were taught by your parents, by school, by church, by authorities. And money is a huge issue for most people. The proof of that, you can have somebody making $50,000 a year and be stressed out about money, or you might have somebody making $5 million a year and being stressed out about money, because the fear is imprinted in them. So until we change the program of that fear and learn how to confront our fear and even, knowledge, have tea with the fear and see what needs to be cleansed, right? What belief needs to be cleansed? What emotional condition needs to be cleansed? And that's how we dissolve that fear. And I've been thinking a lot about fear lately, because as a devoted student of happiness, fulfillment, spirituality, shadow, fear, except the biological fear that saves our lives, fear doesn't really serve us. Some people might argue with that, and that's okay. Fear is what creates separation. Fear is what creates disconnection. Fear is what creates greed. Fear is what creates narcissism. Fear is what creates aggression, violence. So we need to do our work, our personal work, to dissolve our personal fear. Because again, you hear me saying a lot of times, and I know a lot of you study the laws of the universe, and you study spirituality, and you know we will not end fear, aggression, violence, anger, greed in our world. We're not going to end any war out there until we start, each one of us, ending the war right here in our center, in our heart. We need to end this war, and we need to address the war of fear inside us. Because again, except the biological fear that saves our lives, fear is not serving any of us. Fear keeps us from evolving, from growing. And the universe is going to force us to grow no matter what. But I'd much rather grow without being hit with another big crisis, with another, big 2x4 in our heads. Or we all have those moments of the 2x4 hitting our heads because we're not fully awake. So that's my message today. If you want to learn more about fear around money, especially, this book club this month is for you. Join for the month. You can get out. There's no contract, nothing. It's super casual. You can come anytime. So that's what I want to address with you. So the question for you is, around any area in your life, what is your fear? What is the root of that fear? And notice the conditioning. Notice that when you say things like, oh, if I just got the money, or if I got the relationship, or if I got the house, or if I got the promotion, I will not be in fear anymore. Is that true? I'm seeing a lot of people who have got, for example, the jab on their arm, and they, triple masking. I'm exaggerating, but they putting masks everywhere. They still in fear. It doesn't matter. A lot of people, when they condition addicted to fear, they're going to find a reason to always be in fear. So my invitation for you here is address the fear, because when you dissolve that fear, you open the portals around you that connect with the abundance of the universe. Abundance of beauty, abundance of money, abundance of relationships, abundance of love. And we need to remove these blocks. And block number one, the biggest one that we all face every day, it's fear. So that's what I want to share with you today. Hope you have a great weekend. That's a happy dog right there. Can you see that? Wow, that's a very happy dog. Happy summer. I'm wishing an amazing weekend, and let's see what comes up next. Have a good weekend. Thank you.